Hello, this is Brian Mullins with Rose Rock Realty, located right here in Moore, Oklahoma. Today I'm coming to you with our market update for January 2019. These are all December numbers. We're going to run through these really quickly. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a holler or to shoot me a message. Um, so we're going to look at, uh, just like we did last month, we're going to look at more. We're going to look at the MLS, which is essentially Oklahoma City Metro. We're going to look at the South region, which is Oklahoma, Texas to the east, and national numbers. So national numbers actually just hit. And as you can see, our close volume is down across the board 10%. And these are year over year numbers. So that's a significant decline. This is actually making a lot of headlines in today's Wall Street Journal top front page story, actually talking about this. So the housing market is slowing down, and we're starting to feel that. Home prices are remaining fairly steady on an upward trajectory. We can see in more our volume or close price is up significantly, but that's just because of the small sample size. You can see we're essentially flat on the MLS, but nationwide we're up a pretty good clip. Pendings, when we're looking at our pendings for the more and for our MLS, we had some really wild shifts in our pendings and supply last year, and so that's why those numbers are so high. And what we're really getting into is the market has cooled off, and we can clearly see that from all these numbers. The market's starting to cool off, the market's starting to normalize. So in more, our supply has gone down, but it's really normal. I mean, we're at almost 3 month supply still. And so if we look at the nationwide, we have our supply is up. And so that's a lot of that is caused by our closed volume being down so much. So let's talk about our top news that's really impacting the market. Obviously, the housing slowdown that's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal today, that's slowing down the economy just a little bit because housing is a big driver of the economy. The other big story that's been going on for a while, I'm filming this on, what is today? It's 23rd of January, so we've had a government shutdown for over a month now. That is really starting to drag on the economy. Employees are about to miss their second paycheck. It's it's amazing how integrated the federal government is in the economy. And because of the government shutdown, it's slowing everything down. And we will see this trickle down into housing numbers. Housing takes 30 to 45 to 60 days before we really see those numbers. So we'll see those numbers start to weigh on housing numbers as we get into February and March. Especially here in Oklahoma because we have so many federal employees. Tinker, I've been told, is functioning almost as normal, but FAA is not. You got TSA agents, you got air traffic controllers. All these people are going without pay, and so it's really slowing things down. The Fed chairman has indicated that he's willing to slow rate increases, which is good and has kind of stabilized our stock market and the market in general. The mortgage rates are actually falling. We're 38. Our 30-year average is actually below 4.5%, which is great, and that's partially that will help swing closings back up a little bit. But there's other factors that are weighing it down. U.S. cancels trade meeting with China. We're still seeing this China trade war going on. Oil is back above 50, but not a ton. Still fairly weak. Market volatility is lessened due to a lot of factors. It comes down to people are starting to accept that we're still going to grow. The economy is still going to grow, but it's not going to grow at the pace that it has been growing. So we've pulled back and we're kind of slowing at a slower pace. Unemployment remains low, which we'll see how the federal government shutdown affects that. Here's our 30-year mortgage rate chart. As you can see, we have fallen below 4.5. We're actually at 4.45 is the last average that came out. So that is excellent for mortgage rates. These are our closed numbers. You can see they don't look too crazy whenever we're looking at these, but they are down 10% year over year, essentially across the board. So that's a lot. These are our prices. As you can see, our prices have remained fairly steady, which is great. This is what we want to see. What this is telling me is the market is just inventory and closings may be slowing, but prices are staying consistent. So we're not seeing anything that is going to drastically change this. So, and you can see our supply. If you actually look at our supply numbers from last year, you can see these are why we're seeing our supply numbers, because we had a huge dip and spike in December, January of last year. But our supply is remaining fairly consistent. Our supply month over month is actually up a little bit and more and down uh, nationwide and with the MLS, but still nothing crazy. Um, Really kind of where we want to be. So our key takeaways: government shutdown will have lasting impacts. This is going to affect our GDP. News stories are out today that this may put us at 0% growth, which is not good for anybody. Buyer's market will continue in this market and across the country as home sales continue to normalize. Um, Home sales will continue to decline. Our inventory is still relatively low and more. It's lower than the averages. So it's still, there's pockets of the metro that are a great time to list, um, just because it's a good price point for someone that is starting out. And so that's where we're really seeing people are still buying. Great time to buy, great time to sell. It's the perfect time is whenever it's right for you and your family. So whenever you are looking, it's important to hire the right realtor, especially with the market shifting like this. We saw some really fast uptrends, and now we're seeing the market stabilizing and coming back down a little bit. So we got to be paying attention to whenever we are looking at historic comps. So we need to pay attention and make sure that those uh, are consistent with what we're seeing in the market today. So whenever you're looking to buy or sell, don't hesitate to call Roche Realty. I'm Brian Mullins. This is our phone number, 692-0663. Feel free to come by and see us at 121 West Main right here in Old Town Moore, or find us online at roserockrealty.com. You can find all the information on listings in the Oklahoma City metro area. It's actually updated faster than Zillow and way more accurate. So feel free to hop on there and look around if you want to look at some houses. If you have any questions, give us a call. Have a good day and really appreciate y'all watching. Thanks.